how big a sense of anticipation is there in the squad ahead of this game?
No, looking forward to the game. Obviously a big challenge for us, playing against a really good team. Prepared well in the short period of time that we've had to prepare, so now we look forward to the game.
What sort of prospect are Spain, and are they a better team than the one that you played in March?
Very good team. Obviously they won the Nations League in the summer. I think when we played them in March, they were probably just in a little bit of transition between the previous coach and the new coach. They did a disappointing World Cup campaign, so we maybe got them at a good time in March. We know we have to be very, very good to get a positive result tomorrow night. On the flip side, though, given Scotland's run in this group, and maybe that England game aside, it was a friendly, do you feel Scotland are a better team now going into this game? I think we've been constantly improving over my tenure as head coach. I think we're improving all the time. We're striving to improve. We're trying to add little bits to our game that will make us better and make us more competitive against the top teams. But we understand that we've still got a way to go. When you look back in the Nations League in that game against Ukraine, you needed at least a draw that night to top the group. You got that, and you've been able to get results since then, or wins in the group. Is that now a mentality that's ever improving, that's going to be really key tomorrow night? I think it's a mentality you always want. You want to be able to go away to difficult places and get positive results. We've managed to do that reasonably consistently over the last few years. But we understand that it's going to be a difficult game tomorrow. But we don't come here thinking that we have to sit in and defend all night. We have to be as effective with the ball as we were at Hampden.
Steve, you talk about belief a lot, don't you? Is it more about belief tomorrow, and how strong is that belief within the squad?
No, belief will be part of it. Obviously, we have to get the tactics right. The players have to put into practice on the pitch what we've spoken about on the training ground. They have to play to their maximum. And belief is a little bit of that as well, but we have to play our game. We have to play our game as well as we can. And then I believe that will be good enough to get us something from the game.
What did you learn specifically from playing England, I guess kind of similar level to Spain, if you like, that you can take into this game?
No, it was a different game, was a different feel about the game. It was obviously an exhibition match. This game is a continuation of the good work we've done so far. We're trying to qualify for Germany next year. That's been the aim since March, and this is just another step on the way.
With no Kieran Tierney, will we see a change of shape? Can you tell us?
Yeah, maybe.
Not giving anything away.
Don't think so.
Hi Steve, obviously you've had many big results since you've been here. Would a point tomorrow, given where it is, the team you're facing and what it means, would it be the biggest result of your reign, do you think?
Never go down that route with any of the questions or what's the best thing that you've ever done in the game. That's for when I've retired. I'll lie on the sofa somewhere and think through my career. I might even write a book, but not for now.
What would it mean to you and the players to get the job done tomorrow night?
No, we want to get the job done as quickly as possible. If it means that we're good enough to get it done tomorrow night, that would be great. If not, we've got 2 more chances in November. And we've got those chances because we've started the group so well. We have 15 points from 5 games. That's a good start. We know we have to get more points to get over the line. Do I think this team will finish the group on 15 points? No, I think we'll get more points, whether that's tomorrow or in November.
And just finally for me, in terms of injuries, how's the squad looking for tomorrow? Is anyone a doubt that we don't know about? What's the latest? No, not everyone I've got here is fitting well. Obviously, we lost Ryan Jack and Kevin Nisbet from the original 25, but I've got 23 fitting rearing to go.
Steve, can I just ask you about the Euros, Steve? I know last week you mentioned that if Scotland and the UK bid got there, it has now. Can I just ask your thoughts on a home Euros in 2028?
Yeah, good. Obviously good for the country, good for the UK as a whole, and good for Scotland. So that's something to talk about maybe a little bit later on. At the moment, I'm purely focused on trying to get to Germany next year.
We'll take some questions from the Spanish media now.
Hola, seleccionador. Buenas tardes. Hemos visto mucha gente de Escocia por las calles de Sevilla, muchos con camisetas con la frase de Rodri en la espalda, de lo que pasó, de lo que dijo después del partido. ¿A usted le dolió aquello que dijo Rodri y si cree que es una motivación especial? Gracias.
No, I can't even remember what he said, to be honest. It's not something that I ever get involved in. That game was in March. This game's in October. Is a totally different game.
Any other Spanish questions?
Hello, can we start with the Scottish journalists, if that's okay?
John, how much are you looking forward to this one, a game where Scotland could potentially qualify?
I'm really excited. Huge game for us. I think you can feel it when the boys were. We know how big a game it is. We know how tough it will be, but it's a hugely exciting game. Great place to play, and if we get a positive result, it could finally be the game that gets us to Germany. So huge anticipation and really keen to get going.
When you go back to Belgrade and Serbia and Scotland qualifying, it was a case of just kind of hoping to qualify. Is there now this, given the way Scotland have been in the group, this belief that they will qualify?
Aye, well, it's been like that since the start of the group when the draw was made. It was a very, very tough draw considering we managed to get into pot 2 for the first time in a number of years. So we were a wee bit deflated for a couple of hours, but then we realised, right, let's have a go at this and try and give ourselves the best chance to qualify. But the belief's been there from the start. The manager said that as soon as the draw came out, we want to qualify automatically from this group, and we've given ourselves a great chance to do that. The job's not done yet. We come to what will be on paper the toughest game that each team in the group will face. So we know we need to be at our best, but the belief's there now to, like you said, not hope to qualify, but let's be a regular fixture in these tournaments for years to come.
The manager was saying that he feels that Spain are a better team now. Maybe Scotland got them at the right time back in March. So just how much better does Scotland need to be in this one?
We need to be better. Obviously, it's away from home, so every team's stronger at home. They're used to the heat a wee bit more than us, so it wasn't as hot in Glasgow in March, I think it was. Is it March? March, aye. So we need to deal with the heat, and obviously we need to be better.
John, you managed to really rattle Spain whenever you played them back then. How can you do that here this time?
Well, we need to be aggressive. It's in our nature as a country. Hard working, determined. We'll fight for every ball. We probably didn't do that enough against England, which is why we were off the back of so why we ended up with a comfortable defeat. So we know we need to get the balance right. We need to be physical and aggressive, but we have got good players as well. We're not just that. And at the Spain game, even though we showed good moments of quality to win the game. So we need to respect them. They're a top quality side, and we need to do whatever we can to win the game.
What lessons can you take from the England game last month? Obviously, you've been 5 wins out of 5 competitively in the group, but it was a disappointing result on that night. But what positives and negatives can you take on that to bring into this game tomorrow?
Well, there was a lot from the game which we've worked on this week, what we've learned from. We want to be a country, a group of players that can compete with these teams. On the night, the gulf was too big for our liking. We felt as if we could offer more. We feel as if we can offer more. And we're in now the top division in the Nations League. We're now trying to compete with these teams, and we need to improve in certain aspects. I'll not give too much of that away, but a couple of things went wrong, but it's up to us as players to eradicate that and improve on it, and that's what we'll be trying to do.
The manager was asked about Rodri's comments on the wake of the game last March and says that he can't remember what he said. I'm sure you or some of the other players might. Is that a motivation, or is enough time passed that it doesn't matter anymore?
Oh, it doesn't matter anymore. Probably lost count of how many trophies he's won since that game, so there's not much we can say to him. I mean, he will have said things in the heat of the moment, but it's gone now. He's a world-class player who we all respect as a squad, and I think the country should follow that.
And just lastly for me, John, you've spoken about the team when they qualified for the last Euros against that game at Serbia and the journey that you've been on under Steve Clarke. How much further do you think this team has got to go? You've shown your calibre and what you can do in this campaign, but you'll be thinking that there's much more still to come.
There's plenty more to come. We're all at a good age. We're getting more and more experience in these games, and great thing for us is there's a couple of brilliant young players bubbling away in the background that could come and improve us and help us as we evolve. So it's a really exciting time to be a Scotland player. The supporters are here regardless of the results, but now we're giving them a bit of success which they're enjoying, and hopefully we can carry that on.
John, just on the supporters, I was out and about speaking to them today. Thousands of them over here. How much of a lift do they give you? And have you noticed, you've been in the setup for many years now, have you noticed that they're almost more reinvigorated lately because of the positive results on the pitch?
Oh, absolutely. They're loving it. I think when you come back up the road, obviously I'm based in England, but you come back up the road, you hear about the positive impact you're having on the whole country. Everyone's behind the team. Again, we're kind of, like you said, reinvigorated. I mean, the loyalty will always be there. The Tartan Army will follow us wherever we go. I was in South America and Peru. There was thousands over there. It doesn't matter where you go. They're a passionate support, and the loyalty will always be there regardless of results. But now they're celebrating a few more results than what we have done in the past, and I think that feel-good factor is something we can't take for granted. I think, like you said, when we've been involved in disappointing results and campaigns in the past, it certainly stings. So it's good for players like myself who have been involved in that to enjoy the good times and try and carry them on.
What would it mean to you as a group of players to secure qualification tomorrow night, and you'd see it, the joy on the fans' faces right there in front of you?
We're aware of what it would mean. It's not actually really been mentioned. There's been a real kind of steely focus from the boys. We're focused on the job. We know there's still work to do to try and get qualification secured. So we've not spoken about it too much. I mean, you obviously think about it, of course you do, but when you've got Spain in their own patch, you have to respect it. We need to be focused on a game plan, and that's all we've been focusing on the last few days.
Just finally from me, you've had big results recently. You think about Serbia away, even down at Wembley, the point in the Euros. Would a point here tomorrow night be the biggest of all?
I think 3 would eclipse it, if that's your answer.
That's what you're going for then, 3 points?
Aye, that would eclipse all of them, definitely.
Any local questions before we go?
Hola, buenas tardes. Miguel Ángel Lara, Diario Marca de España. Te quería preguntar por el partido de marzo, no por el partido. Llegas a casa, te quedas solo. Cuando te quedas solo, ¿qué piensas? ¿Cómo lo ves? ¿Qué te dices a ti mismo? Gracias.
Thank you. When we reflected on it, it was a huge night for our country. Beating a team like Spain at home was incredible, and a night I think all of us as players, supporters, will remember forever. So it was a huge evening for us. We knew how difficult the game was going to be, and everything clicked that night for us. So when you go home and you reflect, it's certainly a night where you dream about when you're playing in the park as a young boy, to beat Spain at home at Hampden. So it's one we'll remember forever, and hopefully tomorrow, like I said, eclipses that and gives us more memories.
One more? Or all good?
Una más?
Let's go.
No?
Thank you.
Thank you.